The country once again in shock and angry over that mass shooting we saw Saturday at a Buffalo supermarket. Authorities say the attacker killed 10 people in a racially motivated hate crime.
This was one of 8 mass shootings across the U.S. last weekend alone, which left at least 17 people dead. Here to discuss is ABC Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre, thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you.
Pierre, always good to have you here, of course, and to have your insights. We're talking about the Buffalo shooting here now. I mean, what exactly? It seems like every time we have this conversation, it's not just a matter of a sign was missed. It seemed to be every single time that there were glaring things that were missed about the shooters. I mean, what can we do better that we still aren't doing, given what we know about the Buffalo shooter?
TJ, I think what strikes me most is how clear it is that American society is still struggling with how to deal with people who are experiencing mental health challenges when it comes to guns. This man clearly had issues. The next sequence I'm about to describe haunts me. The suspect was asked to write a paper about post-graduation plans his senior year in high school. According to my sources, he writes his paper and mentions something about his post-graduation dreams involving murder-suicide. The school contacts police, who say the matter ends up in a mental health evaluation. And apparently that was that. About a year later, that young man, the one with the apparent dreams of murder-suicide, that young man walks into a gun store and legally buys a gun.
All right, and so much talk here, Pierre, about social media platforms, and is there something different or better they can be doing? I mean, those platforms, I mean, people can say what they want to say, but how do you decide if somebody's going to take, if this one's a threat versus that just being somebody angry and stupid?
Exactly. It's very complicated, and society is still sorting out how police will deal with social media platforms. As vile as some of the stuff out there is, people get to have racist and despicable thoughts. That's not illegal. But when the language morphs into open discussion about harming people with violence is when authorities need to be able to step in.
Pierre, we heard from President Biden yesterday, and he described the shooting as domestic terrorism. Right now, the shooter is being charged with first-degree murder. Are there other charges that may follow?
Well, I'm being told by sources that the federal government is looking at the potential of hate crime and domestic terrorism charges. I've been told to anticipate both.
What is behind this rise in hate crimes? What's driving what we're seeing these days, Pierre?
There's just still a lot of hate. And America's original sin, the original sin, is in many ways always been about race. And the notion that certain people should not be treated as full-class citizens. That's the heart of this. It continues to be pervasive. And now you see social media being used by, Nazis and white supremacists in the same way that ISIS did, where they're using social media to recruit people to their ideology.
And Pierre, we know you've been working on a special report for ABC News about highway shootings. What have you learned about this alarming and growing trend?
Well, we reviewed data collected by the Gun Violence Archive and the independent research group, and it finds that shooting incidents along or near interstates spiked 57% from 2019 to 2021. Over that period, there were 2,143 incidents, more than 1,200 people injured, and at least 530 people killed. Just a stunning level of violence on the nation's streets and highways.
Pierre, if you can, and maybe you can't, can you give us the upside, the hope? You've been covering this extensively. Nobody we know knows this stuff better than you do, and so many of the numbers are rising, and like you say, stunning rise is the word you just used. What have you seen that's been working, that we're getting better about in the way we talk to each other, or getting guns off the street? What's working? Where's the hope?
Well, the only hope I can give you is this sense that if we look at the trends, the rate of increase seems to be slowing. The problem is that the level that we're at is intolerable. And right now you simply just have a country where there's so many guns, hundreds of millions of guns out there. And what it means is that if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you have mental health issues, or if you're just plain evil, you can get access to a gun.
Pierre, we absolutely love being able to talk to you on this. We just love your perspective, your expertise on it. And the report on highway shootings airs on ABC News Live Prime tonight, 7 o'clock. Again, Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here. to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.